I have ego for my work is concerned. I have ego. I have self-respect. I have everything where I know my job. But there's nothing wrong in if you respect a talent, if you respect a filmmaker, you respect what he has written. Why should you? Sometimes you want it. Yeah.
Did you watch the original just to know
Also,
what's happening?
obviously, I had to watch it, and because when it was pitched to me, and it's I'd heard so much about it, but I never had I didn't really go and watch it that time. But I'm so happy that it was pitched to me. It's because of that I saw the show, and I just loved it. And of course, then I read the book also, and mostly, obviously, I read the portions where Rupo was there,
Yes,
and
yes.
then I went and read all the interviews of all the actors, the director, the writers, and I just kept on digging into what they felt, how they shot, all those kind of things. And then of course, ultimately what boils down to is, when you take a decision, is the Indian adaptation.
Mm.
Have they cracked that? So once I heard it, and fortunately for me, everything was written, everything was on paper. It was not that they just pitched me the pilot and just a story arc and this is how it is. They had everything on paper, where the
Mm.
entire season, and which was great. And I heard it in one go, and I just loved it. And I said, "Oh, I just forgot about the original show," and I
Right.
just was engaged like an Indian, of a consumer from this part of the world. When you make an adaptation, when you make a remake, obviously when you're doing it, so you're not stealing anything. You are doing it. The producers are. Original producers are also the producers of this show, and so obviously everything would go to them. They would read it and say, "Oh, this is better. Oh, this is good."
Mm.
No, no, that was. I think you missed that point. And then I was like a hawk because I'd done 24,
Yes,
and
I was getting
I
to.
had done 24, so I had adapted and was hugely successful. So I knew the mistakes I've done and what mistakes I didn't do. So I
Yes,
said, please don't do the mistakes which I have done. And because every time,
yes,
everything you do, you make mistakes and you learn from your mistakes.
yes.
And in spite of that show being, we got a lot of love for that show, and I hope to get that same kind of love for this show too.
You bring years of experience into this, your experience and kind of wisdom of sorts. You know what how it is. So, what did you tell them? Perhaps the rookie mistake that perhaps people do.
No, no, I said, don't try to change for the sake of changing it. First of
Lovely.
all,
Yeah, yeah.
you don't
I get that.
just because India, so you want to change. Don't change that. Try to make it adapted to this part of the world, which but don't try to change the soul of the show.
Yes, fair
Or
enough.
the film. So I said first was that, and secondly, of course, I said, you know, the socio-political situation, few points here and there,
Yes,
and it should not look a foreign show. It should look as if it's it's actually happening. Because somewhere, of course, became more difficult because there are no references in India about arms dealers. That become very tricky. Arms dealer and all have been more to certain very stereo and very caricaturish. So how to
for
make
sure.
him look real? How to make this show look real and give this kind of a scale? So that
Right,
was the challenge. So
right.
once I heard it, I read it, I loved it, and then I said, do that. And when and that was done beautifully. And I said, you can't open an acting school when you're shooting a show. So cast all good actors, cast actors who can deliver. So these are the small things which I can remember, which I which I told him. And
Right,
that's what it is, and a lot of other things,
right.
uh, in and outs, and the which are very very important. There are certain things which really work. When you see an episode, you leave the episodes on a kind of a high and a kind of a hook, so that people want
Hmm.
to go back to the second episode.
Did you
Yes,
try
yeah.
to humanize this character? Because at the end of the day, you're playing a very, very evil person. There is
You
no two
have
ways about it. You sell arms to the world, you create destruction. So there's nothing redeeming about your character, isn't it?
you have to understand that when no matter what happens, you get a lot of yourself in a character, which unconsciously, subconsciously happens. You might people who say, no, he's done the character, gone to that extent that you've forgotten who he is. You can't do that. You can't do that, especially when there's certain Hugh Laurie is doing it,
Yes.
no matter, there are certain films you can, but there are certain shows there has to be a bit of you also. You
Uh-huh.
are Shailendra Rungta, but there is a bit of Anil Kapoor will always be there in that.
Mhm.
So I had
Mhm.
to humanize it and make it to a certain extent believable, relatable, and fun to watch. But the only best part was which we found, I could connect to, the backstory I created for this character. We created for this character, the
Okay.
writer and the director and myself, that he is from a very small little suburb in Mumbai, and he starts called Bhaikala.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Bakula. Yeah, I've heard of
And
it.
and under the bridge, he starts with a little small business, and slowly, from scratch, he builds himself. And then he had a family. He looked after the entire family, and to see the family. And by the time he becomes successful, more successful, a lot of people betrayed him. A lot of people cheated him, but he rose to fame and and to certain power and money, and to a certain extent, slowly he started doing business, all kinds of business, and now he felt, which is the business which will make me the maximum money.
Yeah.
He became
Yeah.
power hungry and money hungry.
Right.
So
Right.
arms, let's create war and watch them like a game. The more the war, the more money I'll make, more they'll meet arms, not thinking that war will kill people, destroy people. So he goes a
Right.
bit.
It's not easy to keep reinventing after so many movies. Well, you said you're stereotyped as this perfect guy most of the time. So is that what you want to do? You want to actually try
I
everything
think
out there?
I think of course every actor wants to do that, but you have to just hope and pray that young directors and filmmakers want to give you that job, give those roles and pitch it to you and give that job opportunity to you.
Right.
And I'm very happy and thrilled that young filmmakers and directors like AK versus AK, Thar, to a certain extent, where it was both totally, completely radical films, and the kind of films which you've seen earlier, and both were hugely critically acclaimed and huge successes on Netflix platform. In my entire career, if they were not offered to me, I would pursue it. I'll go after it, and sometimes tell the directors, no, we can't take you. We'll take him. No, please, sir, please take me, sir. I can do it. You can't do it. No, I can do it. Yeah.
You can
I
do
said,
that.
I'll reduce my money. I go, okay, I'll give you all the days. Please take me.
No, that's amazing. I think that's what
I
sets
swear.
you apart.
I swear, Ishwar and Nayak have done that.
Oh,
Honestly.
you stole that. Take me. I'll slash everything.
Yeah. I swear. Genuinely, I'm telling you.
Oh, wow.
I have no egos. I have ego for my work is concerned. I have ego. I have self-respect. I have everything where I know my job. But there's nothing wrong in if you respect a talent, if you respect a filmmaker, you respect what he has written. Why should you? Sometimes you want it. Yeah. Don't go for quantity. Go for the quality.
Apparently, when The Night Manager released, every review said it's like the James Bond for television. Do you think finally Anil Kapoor will be our James Bond?
No, cannot be James Bond. I'm too old for that.
No, never. Don't say that. Just scratch that. You actually say it.
I can be. No, I can't be James Bond.
But there are many actors in Hindi cinema who reach a certain age, they don't know what to do with them. But in your case, they've always known what to do with you, or you have chosen roles that seem to make us feel like the directors know what they're doing with you. Is that deliberate? Is that by design? What's the deal?
Ultimately, it's your choices you make, in relationships, in work, in life. It's the choices you make. To make everything happy and positive. So that's what films are, because you're going to spend so much time with so many people, so you have to make the right choice. So it's not only the success or the content, it's the people also you're going to spend so much of time with. You have to work with good people who treat you well, who make you feel happy when you're on the set, and then so that you can give your best.
Is it more liberating to act in a web series as opposed to a film, because less censorship, A, and B, you can go as bad as you can. You don't have to worry about image or anything.
I have not looked at it that way.
Okay.
I don't look at it. I just go with all my, I don't look at that. I just go with the heart and soul. and try first of all to make my director happy and my writer happy. And sometimes, I am too innocent to understand if there is some kind of sensational thing. Sometimes I catch it, and sometimes I cannot catch it, and I do it, and then I regret why did I do it. So I've been quite lucky that way.
And last question, what did you observe about Aditya and Shobita? Both very good actors in their own right, much younger than you. But I suppose, what did you observe about them? What did you learn of them, perhaps?
I had a lot of scenes with Aditya because I've done Malang with him.
Yes.
And our cast is pretty good. It was a successful film. People liked the film. And we got a lot. Both of us got a lot of love from that film.
Yes, we did.
And not in a big way, but decent way. It was good. And then, of course, so this is our second collaboration. And in this film, of course, in this show, I feel he suits it even more. The role.
Yes.
I got a gut. He's going to get much more love than what he got in Malang in Night Manager. And of course, Shobita, she's wonderful, she's beautiful, she's sexy. There's Tilotoma, who's a wonderful actress.
Of course,
she has a great role. There's Saswata Chatterjee, who does Cocky's role. He's phenomenal. He's going to punch you on the face. He's so good in the show. Terrific.
Right. So the director followed your brief about actors, hiring good actors. I think he followed
it. And of course, Sandeep Modi, who's the showrunner.
Yes.
And his friend and director, co-director and director of quite a few portions which I shot with her also, Priyanka. Both of them wonderful, absolutely fantastic. The entire team, the technicians, the sound guys, fantastic.